The topics of this podcast you're about to listen to includes cosplayers that will not just discuss said topic, but also make fun of, throw shade, run game at, etc., at anyone remotely connected to the topic at hand. So there is a possibility of being offended. Remember, you have been warned. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 9 of the Black Cosplayers podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ronma.
Hi, my name is Black Bill Gates.
Alright, next time I'll give you a bit of a heads up so you can be ready for that.
Alright, should we go ahead and start? Because this is a 2-minute show right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I already hit the record button on this, so... Alright, so... Normally, unlike my other shows, we tend to do them live, but this time, this is pre-recorded. We got lives and stuff like that, so we're kinda... Don't have the full crew here tonight, but they pop up during the show. We'll bring them in. So it is what it is. So on tonight's show, we're going to talk about cosplaying. And now we've talked about this previously, but we're going to go with something different. We're going to talk about cosplay in the words of, is it still fun? When do you stop? Or how do you take a look at it from that point of view?
This man seriously used a trash can as a shit. I can't... Oh, wait, we want to get back on topic.
What about a trash can cosplay?
I will tell you later, because I will tell you after the podcast.
Alright, cool. Okay, now, I've been cosplaying for probably about close to 20 some odd years, and I can't believe I'm able to say that, but it's kind of true. I started cosplaying because I went to my first con at Amazement, and I saw other people doing it. I'm like, I gotta get in on this and see how fun it is. And that's why I do it. I do it because it's fun. I enjoy dressing up as different characters, getting into the persona of the character, getting up on stage and doing skits with my friends and stuff. I still do that, but I also do photography as well. And a lot of people I started doing conventions with still do it to a certain extent, but they've all gone separate ways. But as time goes on, it kind of changes for some people. For some people, being fun in cosplay is all about the competition. For some, it's all about the popularity. Or being able to hit every single convention every single freaking weekend. And I just want to know, where do some of these cosplayers have a sugar daddy like that or a job like that? And if you got a job where you can hit all these conventions back to back to back, let me know if they're hiring, because I could definitely use that type of money.
You get all those days off.
Exactly. I mean, I remember this one cosplayer, I forget her name, she said that she would never work in an office because you could not get the time off for cosplay. Conventions are on the weekends. You work 5 days a week. And you will get at least 2 to 3 weeks of paid vacation time. So, you'll be using 1 day out of your vacation day to take that Friday to hit the convention. But on the plus side, in retail, you can always arrange your schedule so that your days off are during the convention, and you can save your vacation time for if you want to go do something or non-convention-ish, you know? Or if you happen to realize that, that week or that weekend or whatever you're taking off, they can't accommodate your schedule, so you just got to use a sick day or a vacation day for that instead.
Yeah, I just request my days off like months in advance, because I already know what conventions I'm going to in the year.
I kind of do mine at least 2-3 months in advance. That way they know there's ample coverage. Or if I have to, like when I did MagFest, they knew I was taking time off, but I got a call, they needed me to log in and do some stuff. Now, I had my laptop with me, so I was able to log in remotely to my workstation, do what I gotta do, and then log off and get paid for it. So that I don't mind. But
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. As far as cosplaying, I think some of it's because nowadays cosplay has become more mainstream.
Yeah.
So now you got people that cosplay for attention. You got the people doing sexy cosplays for easy money, easy views.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got people that try to use it for, political or social agendas. Which we discussed quite frequently on the show.
Yep. I mean, I remember going to cons, and I'm pulling. Start out, one cosplay for the weekend, then 2, then 3, and then there's that one Otakon. I brought 9 cosplays with me, and I just got tired of going back and forth between the convention center and the hotel with my different costumes. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this shit no more. This shit is not fun. So when I see people posting their cosplay list, and I see like 7, 8 costumes, I'm like, how is that still fun? It's like you're spending more time going back to the room to change than being the actual cosplay.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're doing the same character, like you're doing Deadpool, but all you do is just take off your mask or something. And half them Deadpool motherfuckers probably don't even Febreze that costume. They just probably just throw that shit on the side. Yeah, what's going on, Kay?
Hey, sorry I'm late. Had to get my little niece to sleep. She wouldn't go to sleep.
See, you weren't late. You were just on BPT.
True.
Yeah. For like conventions, I want to do like a cosplay a day. The most I would do is like 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, most I'll do is like 2 cosplays a day, and I don't even cosplay on like Sunday because it's just too much.
See, I'll do a Sunday cosplay if I'm able to have time to change back and go. Because most of the cons I go to, I'm catching a ride with somebody, and either the end point is me catching a local train back home, which I'm not too worried about. If I'm catching I have to hop a bus or something, I gotta, like a Greyhound, I gotta give myself ample time. But, I mean, I'll throw on easy cosplays like Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing. At the end of the day, just take the wig off and just go about your day. Or, I mean, I won't put on something like big and elaborate, I won't do that because that's just a pain in the ass to repack and all that shit,
Yeah. Sundays, it's like I'm taking a land transit back, and I'm just like, and then I try to get weird looks on the train. So when I go do a cosplay, I just go do something like that looks very normalish, like Space Dandy or something. I don't know.
See, but if you live up here if you live in New York City or New Jersey in that area, being on the subway or the buses in cosplay, nobody cares. If someone,
exactly.
I mean,
you see that every day.
Yeah, unless it's something you think is pretty awesome. Like I was going to work and somebody they were a stormtrooper from Star Wars, but he had on like a robe and a cup of coffee, and I was like, that's a great cosplay. Something like that caught my eye.
And you got people like the super serious that do flash mobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, like I hardly ever do a cosplay. So far I haven't done cosplays on Sunday simply because when the person I bunk rooms with, she usually, it's always one of those headache situations where she says she'll take me home, and then I find out that she's not, and then I have to get a ride with my parents, and they were asking me ahead of time if I was getting a ride, and they're already at home, comfortable, and it's like, nope, not adding cosplay to that list.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I get my own car and stuff, I won't have to really worry about that.
So, okay, when do you feel at that point when cosplay ain't fun for you anymore?
When will I get that point, or when have I gotten that point?
Either or. I mean, have you ever felt that sometimes, or how do you know when you feel like, you know what, I ain't doing this shit no more, it ain't fun no more?
I feel like recently, like not like recently this year, but like for the past 1 or 2 years, before I really just like delved deep into cosplay. For a while, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna cosplay no more, because I would get these, and it was like a lot to do with what was going on in the community and what I was receiving personally. Mm-hmm. There was this time when it was like when I first started doing my Cesar cosplay, and then I did my Naraku cosplay and Luffy, and I wanted to get pictures of it, and I actually wanted to pay like a photographer to do it.
Right.
So I talked to a couple of photographers, and I talked to one photographer. He was doing it for pretty cheap because I was running on a budget. And I wasn't trying to get, like, elaborate pictures. I just wanted, some decent pictures and, maybe a little Photoshop or something, but nothing too elaborate. Just some, nice pictures to kind of go on my cosplay page. And when I asked him, I was like, okay, so he was asking me what kind of cosplays I was gonna do and what days and everything. And when we had us situated, he started acting weird. Like when I was telling him my cosplays, what I was cosplaying as, he was like, oh, okay. Like he was like, oh, I thought you'd be in like a cute outfit or something, as nice, as pretty as you look. And I'm like, no, I like to cosplay what I like to cosplay. And he was like, okay. So a few days passed. And I wanted to make sure everything was set. And afterwards, it was like months had went by, and this was for AWOL. And months had went by, and then I was like, okay, let me just make sure, triple check, make sure everything is good. There's no schedule change, because I'm that kind of person, like, I want to make sure everything's good to go, because I have a checklist for cons to make sure I don't forget stuff, and everything's on time, because it gets hectic once I get to the con. And so when I was doing that and when I was there, I was like, okay, so I'm making sure. And then I messaged him and said, okay, so everything's good to go, right? And this was like a month before. This was August,
Right.
month before AWOL. And I was like, everything's good to go, right? He was like, yeah, everything's set. I told him that if he needed a down payment or like a deposit or something, I would pay it because I had money on me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, that's fine. And after I had it was the week before the con, it was that week before the con, and he messages me and says, I'm probably going to need a deposit or something, and I'm like, okay, why? And then he was like, because such and such was going on. He's talking about something about him not being able to get there on time or something like that if he didn't have the deposit. So I gave him like $10 down or something, because
Right.
I think the photo shoot was like $40 or something. So I gave him $10 down. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then the day of the con, when I was supposed to be doing my shoot, I'm there, I'm ready, in the place where he said we were going to do it, and I was waiting there for an hour, and I'm like, what's going on? I was messaging him, and he wasn't answering my messages. And then he told me, oh no, I don't want to do any photography. You're not my taste, like it's not something about it wasn't what it was that he wanted me to. Bleh. What he wanted to take pictures of was not what my cosplay was about. And I had a feeling it was, because his whole page was basically a bunch of girls in, like, scantily clad cosplays. So I had already figured out that was why he wouldn't cosplay me, because I crossplay, so I don't cosplay as the sexy femme fatales and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that would have been helpful if you would have told me that before he gave you the deposit and all that. And he made sure, I didn't see him at the con, so I was like, okay, this is interesting. But if I were ever to see him again, it would just be like, really? You took my money and then you ran. And I've actually had that happen to me twice, but the other time it was actually like a month in advance. He was like, nah, I'm not really what I'm looking for. And I told this to one of my photographer friends. I don't know if you guys know Eugene Manning.
Oh,
He's,
that motherfucker?
Yeah, it's a distance relationship with this guy, because he's like, when I first met him, he was kind of rude, like very rude. Like
Still is.
When I was in the AWOL group, and I would post like some of my art and stuff like that, because you're allowed to do that and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I post some of my art, and some of it would be kind of like, it wouldn't be yaoi, it would be like shonen ai art, and he'd be like, people don't really like that. And I'm like, but if there was a girl fapping, I bet you would, like we'd have that discussion. And then like one day I think he tried to put me on the spot or something, and I put him in his place, and then he started talking to me, trying to friend request me. And then he was in this whole huge drama with this cosplayer about he solicited her for nudes and stuff like that, and was acting real creepy. And I messaged him and let him know, I was like, this girl's saying all this stuff, care to defend yourself or confirm? And he was like, oh no, she blocked me and blah blah. And then he showed me the messages and stuff. I guess, okay, I guess it checks out. And then he said something in the AWOL forum that really just bothered me, because it was in a post talking about how photographers are creepy, like how you have creepy photographers who just go to cons and take pictures of chicks just to like get all close and get those, solicit some of those nudes, And he was like, photographers have no obligation to shoot you and stuff like that. If you want to be like that, if you want to act like a bitch and whatnot. And then I was like, well, I don't think it's fair that cosplay photographers have all this entitlement when they have rejected people for not being sexy enough. I think that's very discriminatory, and it's their right, but at the same time, you can't expect to have booming business when you will discriminate against other cosplayers just because they don't fit a certain sexy mold that'll get you the little clickbait views you want. And he started getting mad. He's
Well,
never
that's
really been the
because-
same since.
Well, that's because he's guilty of that shit. Now, I had once gotten into a bit of a Twitter argument with a friend about cosplay photography, and I said, you know what? Cosplay photography should shoot everybody. You know, who are you to say that you can't take a picture of this person or that person? That ain't right. That's not fair to the cosplayer. Now, I happened to eat those words when I went to Denver Comic Con 2 years ago, when I saw a shit ton of Harley Quinn cosplayers. I was like, I'm kind of done. I feel cosplay photographers should take pictures of who they want, because every cosplay photographer has a different style, a different setup. But also, if a cosplayer comes to you asking to take their picture, I don't think it hurts for you to say no. Say yes. Just take the picture, you know?
Especially if it's a situation where the person, it's an actual business transaction. They are willing to pay you. They have the money ready. They're even prepared to give you, like, a down payment or whatever you need. Like, a deposit, whatever you need. And then you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm just going to blow this person off because I only want the clickbait. I want the views, you know? And it's like, it's fine if that's what you want to do, but let someone know ahead of time. Mind you, you may not get service as well as you might have, but it's like, really?
Yeah. And also, everything I noticed, cosplaying. Well, as far as what was I about to say? Sex cosplays. It's like nowadays you got people that try to cosplay for attention. So you got people that get mad, like, oh, someone didn't take my picture. And it's like, you didn't put no real effort into cosplay. You just grab some shit from your closet and just having to resemble the character.
It's two things. Either there was no effort in the cosplay, or that photographer took pictures of 5 other cosplays in the same outfit.
And it's like, back to what you were asking about cosplay, if we were down to it, that and the whole elitism thing in cosplay. Now there's this thing, like, I had a situation where when I first did my Caesar Clown cosplay, he was a fairly new character in the One Piece universe and, like, anime universe in a whole. So people didn't really know who he was unless you were, like, a One Piece fan and you were, like, following the manga and stuff like that. And I was cosplaying him, and I posted it on Tumblr. I was just showing the cosplay test and things like that, and I used, like, clown white makeup. Like, it literally says clown white makeup on the page. And I posted it, and I had all these hoteps, pro-black POC cosplayer type of Tumblrinas just, like, berating my page. Mind you, at the same time, this was when that dude, Santanik, that old light-skinned, I'm light-skinned, I have privilege sort of guy, was in a beef with me for whatever reason. Because I wouldn't slide in his he wasn't getting anywhere sliding in my DMs or whatever. And he was, like, trying to get witch hunts and stuff, and they were all like, this is whiteface and all that, and you're trying to look white. And then I would use foundation that was a shade lighter, because to get Naraka was a pale motherfucker, so you have to kind of get, like, a shade of makeup that's a little lighter than your skin. It was, like, 1 shade lighter, and people were like, oh, she wants to look white. Oh, her eyebrows look like a chola and stuff, and I'm like, chill. And it's like all this shaming and stuff, but these are the same people who want so-called inclusion. And it's like, when did cosplay become segregated? When was there black cosplayers, cosplay, and white cosplay, and Asian cosplay, and everyone's just at each other's throats for cosplay? Fat cosplay, skinny cosplay, some cosplayers aren't real, apparently, and it's like, what? Hold on.
Yeah, when I thought cosplay, when I first saw it, I was just like, okay, people just dressing in costumes. I didn't know it was a race issue behind it. I just thought, okay, people just dressing as the favorite characters for fun. That's fine.
And, like, I can understand from a certain perspective. Like, I've actually seen, like, at AWOL 2014, I was over in the lobby, and this white guy who, he looked like he was kind of like a middle-aged, maybe 40s or 50s, and he walked up to this black girl who was on her phone, and she was dressed up as Harley Quinn. He took a picture of her and stuff, and he was excited, and then he said, I didn't know they had black Harley Quinns or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's strange. Well, older nerds being like, yeah, black Harley Quinn.
I mean, I get that, because that same question was asked me, like, 10 years ago at a con, so, but it was like, I think I've told the story. I'm Ranma, and she takes a picture of me. She's like, I can't believe you're a black cosplayer. My boyfriend doesn't believe black people cosplay, and he's black. And I just look at him and be like, hey, how you doing? And I give him this look, because I'm just saying, his chick was a pretty decent snow bunny. Just saying,
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'm like, I can understand that getting annoying, especially if you hear it all the time. But, like, at the same time, they want to identify as Black Mario, blurs, or they want to blackify everything. Like, that's a huge problem in the black art community. Like, black folks can't make original content, or they can't do fan art of black canon characters. They have to do black versions of characters.
For a while, my nickname was Black Luigi, okay? That was given to me by a friend of mine on another podcast. Because, it makes sense. I'm a black guy cosplaying Luigi, and I would always say, I'm not the black, I'm a Sicilian, get it right, And I would do that as a joke. I mean...
Yeah.
Personally, I just think it's
fun.
funny.
That. Like, I don't mind whatever people want to call each other, but it's just like the same people who don't want to be identified as Black Harley Quinn or this and that will sit there and embrace the term blurred or embrace the term black, and place the term somewhere else, or they believe that all characters that look quote unquote white or Asian should be black, or they embrace characters that aren't black and they just have a small tan, and anything with a tan is automatically Black American, and everything came from black people, and it's like, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cartoons and cosplay. It's not that deep. Just cosplay what you want. Tell people what you want to be called. It's fine. It's not that deep.
Yes, because speaking of which,
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember what I said in the group? It's just like, POC crew is just like, you guys not really doing anything extraordinary or groundbreaking as far as cosplaying go. Because just like, y'all just wearing the same characters that's been overdone to death already. Just like, y'all not doing anything original about it.
Yeah, and it's always, and they're not doing anything special, like you said, and it's all the same stuff, and it's mediocrity. It's not even, most of the stuff isn't even well done. It's very baseline, and it's very simplistic. Like, it's not like there's a bunch of cosplayers with mechs, or cosplayers with those elaborate clothing designs and patterns that they've made themselves. It's mostly
or using LEDs or something.
Yeah, it's mostly store-bought, or website-bought, AliExpress-bought cosplay. And they have the girls got the skin-tight Wonder Woman suits, and the Superwoman, Black Superwoman, or Black Wonder Woman. And the guys got the Black Captain America, Black Superman, or their T'Challa. Now, that's the popular one, Black Panther, because he's actually black, finally. And it's just like, come on now, guys. Like, really? Can't we come up with something else? Or at least embrace something else? And it's always the same popular black cosplayers that only matter. It's always Ashby, K-Bear, Maki Thought Shop. It's always all those same people. And it's like, can we break the mold a little bit? You complain about Hollywood and other places like that obligated to let new people in and let new diverse people in, but you won't even let new people in your own subgroups.
I mean...
Yeah, just like, because, there's nothing wrong with buying stuff for cosplay.
Yeah.
But make it well done. Like, for example, we all know Vaughn, Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He buys his stuff, but he made sure it's, like, accurate to detail. Make sure the costumes are accurate.
And he's about having fun, too.
Yeah, he does out there cosplays. Like, you ever see a black dude cosplay as Wonder Woman?
Nope. Or Slave Princess Leia.
Yeah, just like, see, Bond breaks the mold because, it's not really, a whole lot of male gender bent cosplayers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, if you look up Power Stone cosplay, the old Capcom game for Dreamcast, he's the only cosplayer for Power Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Literally. I just like, see, he broke the mold. He's the only person that cosplays this franchise, and he's the only person that does it.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how you break the mold. But, but you guys doing the same safe cosplays, you're not exactly getting nowhere.
Yep, you're not gonna get noticed. You're just gonna be staying in the spotlight in the background like you complain you is.
Yeah, and that's our thing. me and my friends talking about, they get really pissed that they put all this work in cosplays, and it's just like you post on Facebook, you get a few likes, but
Mhm.
someone does this, closet cosplay, you get like 100 likes, 200,
Doing
just
the
because
fucking.
they're
Mhm.
doing a character that everybody recognize, or the person is good looking, or the shirtless, or showing T and A.
Yep. Or they're apparently black folks are now the ideal cosplay for black folks is everything from the Goofy movie. Apparently, we supposed to all look like them. Like, okay, what? They're dogs. Are we dogs now? It's just like, come on now, let's branch out. And there's like so many great like if black people want black characters to cosplay in like really good settings, they could cosplay characters like Mercedes and Fernand Mondego from like Count of Monte Cristo, Gangusuo. Like they are like rich black people, like
Mm-hmm.
rich black people. And they have really elaborate clothes and they look classy. That automatically will get you noticed because the color scheme and design for their costumes is just like so elaborate. It's like moving wallpaper and it's really pretty. And you could dress up as that and you'd garner attention faster than a Wonder Woman cosplay any day or a Black Wonder Woman cosplay. And it's like, and then there's this whole DBZ craze where women dress up, or men and women dress up in the Super Saiyan outfits with no real context and just be like, I'm a Super Saiyan. Or put on the old Goku training shirt and say, I like DBZ. Okay, that's your cosplay? Is that okay?
I mean,
Or just put on. Mm-hmm.
I get it. You know, some people got to start somewhere. You know, and a lot of people are
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'll let it slide. But if I keep seeing you doing it at the same convention, come on, fam, come on.
I'm not even talking about like we're getting beginners. I'm talking about like these so-called Instagram models or something like that who have like thousands of followers, and you know they're making guap. They got a Patreon somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
or they got Twitter money or something, some endorsement going on where they got money, and they're sitting here with like they bought the outfit because the tag's still on it, and they're there and they're like, oh, I'm cosplaying Vegeta. They just have like their standard fro. No real context. They don't look anything like Vegeta. They're just kind of in the outfit, just wearing it like it's regular clothes. And it's like, I'm cosplaying Vegeta, and have their tits out and the
I
butt.
found, yeah, I found a blue leotard and some white mat or something.
And bought a scouter from Markdown. You know they didn't mark it down because they gotta have the top thing. And they sitting there in a seductive pose, something Vegeta would probably never do. And it's like, I'm Vegeta. Like, these thirsty niggas and my DMs. Like, alright. What?
Now, have you seen like this? This wasn't a meme, but this was going around for a little bit. Someone actually compared Vegeta to a Jamaican father.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
Because he don't give a damn about his wife. He don't give a damn about his kids. It's all about him, and he's gone half the time.
Yeah, to be fair, he kind of just knocked her up and left. I don't even think they've ever really been married like that. Like, I ain't see no wedding.
Yeah, and one of my friends asked me like, John, how you cause you know the Red Hood costume I'm making, I put the LED lights in. My friend's like, why you only got so many likes on Facebook, but I see all these hoes on Facebook getting 100 for some basic ass shit. I was like, I don't know, I don't care.
Aw. It's like, yeah, like, I don't care. I just want a good cosplay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I bought everything, but I try to make it accurate. Cause originally I just go like, buy the helmet, put some white fabric in it, make it look white. It eyes look white like in the animated series, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna go do LED lights. It's Arkham Knight. It's supposed to be like military look, so let me pop up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Stand out.
And honestly, I think, when cosplayers get into the whole fandom and want to do different costumes, when they start seeing other cosplayers banging out multiple costumes at once and doing this and doing that, I think for some, that's when it becomes less fun for them, because I understand there's always got to be healthy competition between cosplayers. But when you're seeing someone that's like, oh, they're banging out four new outfits for 5 new conventions for a total of 20, and it's like you're trying to keep up, that kind of ruins it, Like, why keep up with somebody that's been doing this for years and you just starting out like 6 months in, you know?
Mhm.
Or you got the people that are like, oh, I can't do so and so cosplay anymore because this person got more money and looks better than me. And it's like,
So?
do what you want to do. Like, you gonna let someone else stop you from doing cosplay?
I'm saying, like, cosplay is cosplay, and that's a lot of the problem. Everyone, it's like I've been saying every time I see some hypocritical post about, oh, you can cosplay that, but wait, I don't like that, so you can't cosplay that. It's that whole cosplay, oh, cosplay is cosplay until I don't like it, or until I'm offended, or until it doesn't set up to my expectations. I just feel like all cosplay is cosplay. Like, but if you want to be on a professional level, that's a different story. But just having someone dress up at a con, hanging out with friends, chilling, being silly, it don't really matter. If you may have your stuff made out of cardboard, or even if it's made out of the finest silk, it don't matter.
I mean, like I said, it just takes fun. Why keep up? You know, do you? Because if you find yourself trying to keep up and do all of this and do all of that, there's no fun in it. I get that some people fun is competition, but you might find yourself just burnt out, you know?
Mhm. And like some people, that's just a gift. They can build, they can make things as craft. They're really having fun with it. But eventually, they even stop, and they just start having fun. And like that brings back to the whole blackface versus, just doing makeup for a cosplay. A lot of people, nobody says, and I hate this argument, it's like, you have to, nobody says you have to do this, or you have to paint your skin, or whatever, if you want.
Right.
Yeah, no, nobody's saying that. I don't know where you're using that, but it's like, if you want to, you can. It's like cosplay. You don't have to do certain things. You don't have to wear a wig to make your cosplay look accurate. You don't have to sew your stuff hand by hand to get the seams in. You don't have to have props. You can just be in your character and be happy and have fun. But if people want to do that, it's not hurting you. And it's all for admiration, and it's just a level of skill they're comfortable with. Just like you may be comfortable with what you want. And it's just like, it's all about having fun.
Yeah,
exactly.
What kills me, like, the people who complain about stuff like, oh, she painted her skin dark, it's just like, you don't even cosplay that much. You don't even know about costume or DL work. Like, there's a difference between, like, someone, like, darkening his skin a little bit than someone going full out mammy. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I really hope the cosplay community, and I know it's gonna get worse before it gets better, but
Exactly.
I'm glad there are still quite a few people who are not crazy and completely deluded in believing that only sort of cosplay that can be found and that can be done, it has to be done by certain quotas, like skinny cosplayers can't cosplay fat characters. Fat characters can't cosplay skinny characters. Black characters can't cosplay Asian white characters. White characters can't cosplay black characters. You know, I just hope that I'm glad there are people who don't believe that stuff. Like, don't have these fake rules and guidelines.
It's funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine, like, for a while, I was really big into Kingdom Hearts, and I wanted to do Final Form Sora. And I'm looking at the artwork from it, and I said, I'm not going to do it because I felt that I was just too tall to pull off the cosplay. Maybe, I might come back around and do it. I might. But that's just my personal preference. But you're right about these rules. Adding rules, these so-called rules to the cosplay, doesn't make it any fun either. Especially if you're doing the cosplay and you're taking the pictures and you're showing it to your friends. Yeah. And then you share it to groups, we all do it, most people do it, for a bit of criticism, like what you could do to make it better. And then you got a couple people like, who just run their mouth about what's wrong with it left and right, and you're like, why would you do that? You're kind of ruining the whole thing,
And it's like, you can have your interest and have your, what is it called? Your preferences, but don't be saying, no, you can't do that because I don't like it. It's like, who cares?
The other thing I want to bring up is, people saying, oh, I don't want to do this character because people are not going to recognize it. It's like, you're going to a convention. You can see almost every panel that's going to be there. Some people go recognize your cosplay. I can't do this character because, I might not get pictures for it now. It's like, you're doing something like obscure or underrated, like, I don't know, Virtual Fire or something.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say like, oh, I don't want to do a karaoke. You go to a convention, you probably go see people from like the FGC or wherever, fighting game community,
Mm-hmm.
because they got fighting game tournaments and conventions.
Mm-hmm.
They go recognize a karaoke because that's a fighting game character.
Yeah.
Or you do a Tekken character, like I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah, like those
Doctor,
three.
like I don't know, Doctor B or something. He'll go recognize it.
Yeah.
Or you do Tatsunoko, Tatsunoko character like Ken the Eagle or something.
Yeah.
Old school anime.
Oh man. Yep, and it needs to be done.
Yeah, but it's just like, some people really make these these false rules, these make believe rules, saying, "Oh, I can't do XYC character," or "I can't do this because this reason," or "Oh, this is not popular, I can't do it." It's just like, no, cosplay is just about dressing up as wherever you can do where you want.
Mm-hmm. Gots to do whatever so that you can make best friends.
Like, if you want to stand out and get popular, do stuff that you like. You'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, Vaughn does gender bend. He does whatever he wants, and look how popular he is.
Yeah, he just does what he wants, and he likes. He's a very what's it called? It's not sexual. What is the word I'm looking for? It's like he's a very free person. Yeah, he's a very free person. He likes to do whatever. He likes to break boundaries. He's also, I actually found out, he's also not a huge stickler on the whole painting your skin if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did the Ruby Rose cosplay from The Fifth Element. Yeah, The Fifth Element. And the Russian dude who did the same cosplay where he did the whole skin painting thing, I'm actually friends with that dude. But he didn't get mad. He wasn't offended. He was like, yeah, this is a good cosplay. Like, this dude really tried. Like, you could tell there was actually time and effort put into it. And he was like, this is a cool cosplay. And there were people, like, and it's very interesting to me, like, the people he's friends with, I know for a fact, most of the people he's friends with, like, they're extremely against, like, anybody who's has brown skin using any sort of makeup on their face to make, or their body to make themselves look any sort of color or any sort of tanning.
Mm-hmm.
But they won't say it on his status. Like, they tiptoe around it, which I find hilarious. I'm just like, oh, if some of those people would reveal their intentions to you. Like, they'll be like, oh, I'm not really a fan of it, but I think it's okay. Like, it's like, okay.
Like, I know when the Sombra thing broke out, he was like, yeah, when the Sombra thing broke out, he was like, why y'all bullying this girl? She did a good cosplay. Why you guys hating?
Yeah.
Because that's how it is. It's like, what's the best way? It's like, we can argue amongst ourselves, but God forbid somebody from the outside tells us, we shouldn't be doing that. We turn like, yo, mind your business. It's something like that.
Yeah, and then there's I don't know if y'all know Mean. He does those cosplay music videos for like AWA and stuff.
I've not heard him.
Yeah, Asian dude. He's a chill dude too. He's actually, I feel bad because he doesn't really care that much. Like when it wasn't the Sombra, it was the one before Sombra. It was when that stuff was like really getting big.
Michonne cosplay.
Huh?
The Michonne cosplay.
No, it wasn't quite there. It was after that. It was was between the Vivian cosplay from Lady Lemon and the Fifth Element, Ruby Rose Fifth Element cosplay. It was between those two, and that was like when it was really kind of just string of it just kind of happening. The Michidon cosplayer, she did it a second time. I feel like she didn't deserve to get like witch hunted, but I feel like she knew what she was doing. She knew she had pissed off people before, and the way she did her status was like, I'm gonna go even darker. Like, she knew she was gonna piss off people, and that's why she left social media. She knew exactly what she was doing. But the other cosplayers, they did it like once, and they were like, it was genuinely like, they were from another country. They were genuinely doing it for admiration.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Mazza?
What's going on, man?
And
I see you on PPT time as well.
Oh.
Are you in a bomb shelter?
So, something like that. I'm outside letting up the garage right now. Give me a second.
Okay.
I see you on PPT time as well.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
And then he basically he made a status about he didn't really care. He thought it was actually admirable that people were, if they were to, you know, kind of look like or emulate a character who looked like him, he wouldn't really care that much. And it was like, as long as they're doing it for admiration, obviously there has to be context with it. And he didn't think it was a big deal, and he didn't see it as blackface. And I think, and his girlfriend bullied him pretty much. She basically shamed him into changing his opinion on what what he thought about it. But he still pretty much he pretty much held to his stance. But at the same time, he kind of backpedaled because his girlfriend's friends, who are horrible individuals, and it's like, really. And he was kind of just bullying him into like, this is wrong because this and this, and my friends have told me this. Like, and I was just like, and we had a conversation about it, and I was like, I'm here with you, dude. So if anybody tries to like heckle you about it, I understand what you mean, even if other people don't. And most people kind of understood, but it's like the dynamic between people who don't really care as opposed to people who have multiple friends because they kind of cater to those people. And it's like, I refuse to be the people who cater to those people, because you ain't about to tell me, but no, you can't do that because that's wrong. Like, I don't care. I like it. Not hurt nobody.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you know her, Danny. Yeah, our friend Danny.
Sims?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. She's like Vaughn. She does where she wants. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about, you know, the whole BlurCon fiasco and talking about the PLC group. We're just like, there's no point in doing the whole PLC thing. It's like, y'all already make up the majority of cons.
Exactly.
Go now.
She was one of the people who revealed to me how fucking awful Maki was, and how she used to be best friends with Maki, and then Maki she kept talking down. She treated like everybody who wasn't black in her friends list and everything like they were shit. She was just like, no, fuck that, I'm leaving. And she unfriended her. Yeah, and I was like, she unfriended her, and she was like, I'm done with this bullshit. Like, oh my god, the thoughts. Thought Patrol, we need it. If there was any time we needed the Thought Patrol, it's now. Thought Police!
Alright, so Mazda, we're talking about cosplay being fun. Do you like it being fun? What would stop you from making it be fun and stuff like that, you know?
People taking it, you know, way, way, way over the top, too serious.
Yup.
Like, it's supposed to be fun. I like having fun. I think fun is pretty good. You know, don't judge me for fun. I don't understand how you judge someone for fun. Like, I know we can have like competitions, and hey, this person's more creative, so you know they win the competition. That's cool. You know, we're having fun. It's a friendly competition. But you're just like, man, I don't like a cosplay because I don't like the character. What? I don't understand that. Like, it's some really, really good people that are just like, hey, have fun. It's good cosplay. I mean, if you put out BS, you should expect BS.
Yeah.
Like, if you start drama with people, you should expect drama to come your way. That's I mean, that's a given. That's gonna happen. Like the chick who I forgot you guys just said her name. You know, people who judge people in general.
Yeah.
She said she treats people that's not her. She's people that are like
shop.
non-black that are her friends. Chicks who treats people, you know, if you're not black, she's gonna bully you. Why don't you just delete them?
See, but yeah, you could delete them, but here's the thing, like, God forbid you're at that same con and that person you deleted is running their mouth. Like, a friend of mine told me this. Like, this was after me and Maki, we stopped talking, whatever. I'm coming back from a room party. I'm drunk as fuck. I remember she was hanging out by the gazebo with her squad, and she was running her mouth towards me. I think I looked over and shrugged and kept going because I was drunk. I had a good time, I ain't letting somebody ruin my fun. So it's like it is what it is. And like I've said, she could probably still hate me to this day. I don't care. If we cross paths at a con, she's gonna run her mouth and be like, "Look, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to the bar, have a drink. If you want to be civil, roll with me, buy you a drink, talk shit out. If not, fuck out my face. Simple as that."
It's very ironic that the only time I hear, not cosplay events where there's no drama, it's like at, fighting game tournaments. Because, some people do go in there and cosplay, as fighting game characters. Barely hear any drama because it's just like, it's a fighting game tournament. People just focus on competition. That's it.
I mean, like, you can get away from the drama at cosplays. All you got to do is, what you do is just mind your business. Simple as that. If you're on these various forums and boards and you're posting, about your cosplays, if people are giving you shit for it, if you ignore it, it'll go the fuck away. Yes and no. They could continue to as long as you don't acknowledge it and, you do whatever,
Well, that's true, and then, like, at the same time, it's kind of not.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole drama, like, recently, like, these black pages, they're all crumbling. They're crumbling. I said this years ago. I said they were all going to fail. Because they have no sort of organization and structure, and they're all just... most of them are all just, they're about drama and just about hating everything. And it's starting now with the, Black Girls Are Kawaii, or the Black Girls Cosplay pages and groups.
Yeah, because a friend of mine, she got kicked out of that page for her photos, and she was like, well, they just must be jealous. And I said nothing, because I know nothing of what goes on in that aspect, so, hey.
Yeah, I was there a year ago, and I was like, oh, yay, more girls? Because that was when I was on my whole venture about I should be around more black people, because apparently I can't relate to them, says certain people. So I was like, all right, let me insert my inner self, my inner blackness, and get with my black folks. And I thought it was just going to be, us as black individuals and ladies talking about fashion, about J fashion and stuff like that, and Japanese culture and stuff that we like about it. No, every day was drama. Every day was something about we're not woke enough, or these are the requirements that girls have to be, or, oh, you're a cosplayer, your fashion isn't cute enough, kawaii enough, or, oh, you're too light-skinned, or they just down somebody, drama about everybody, and I'm like, what is this? Stop! It's like, it's so rude.
Gone are the days.
It's so much drama. And one of my friends, she recently got kicked out because they were literally, the admins were blocking her and then talking about her behind her back on the thread. And she addressed it and she was like, why is this happening? And she was like, oh, you're being bullied. She was being bullied by the other members, but she was the problem, and because she was being bullied, they kicked her out instead of kicking the bullies out, which is completely backwards logic. No. And then
understand how that works.
Exactly.
Wait.
And she was asking her, huh?
I can kind of explain that. It's like the 85-15 rule. If they were bullying her, but nobody else in a group had a problem with it, and it's just her, it is easier to get rid of her as opposed to the bullies.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like a cosplay hell page where, everybody gets a turn in the barrel, that's a different story. But in a typical sense, if 5 people are bullying this one person on the group and no one's saying shit, but the mods see it, those 5 people should be kicked. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's how it was. It was like, it was only a handful of girls doing this. It wasn't like the whole group was against her. Like, because there was a overwhelmingly amount, because this girl, she's not like a small page, like nobody knows. She's like an actual, like, she does modeling and stuff in legitimate Japan. Like, she's a black girl who lives in Japan and she does modeling and stuff. Like, she's literally like the embodiment of kawaii, like her voice and everything. It's like you're looking at an anime in real life. And she's super nice and super sweet. She's not a horrible person or anything. And she was literally asking the admins, why am I being kicked from the group when I contribute? I try to do positive things in the group. But because, like, 5 people are making fun of me and trying to talk behind my back and judge her, because she does those sort of, like, lingerie kind of thing sometimes. Yeah. But it's not anything bad or revealing or anything. It's just, like, simple lingerie, nothing, like, disgusting or anything, like Pornhub or anything. She just does it for the little magazines in Japan and stuff. And they were asking her, and they wouldn't give her a clear answer. And then the admins blocked her, or one of the admins blocked her. And so she showed all the screenshots and all the evidence, like, as you would when you feel like you've been done wrong. And you just, like, this kind of irritates me. And she said this is exactly why I don't engage with, like, black-based groups, because they're all drama, and they all end in, like, some random bullshit. And it's exactly what happens. And I can attest firsthand that those kind of groups do that. First, it's these black cosplayers are kawaii in the goth groups and stuff like that. Now it's going to be the I can't wait for the day the POC cosplayers just implode on themselves.
Well, from my understanding, things have gotten a lot better in there, but whether it is or it's not, as long as there's certain people in there, I'm just going to steer clear of it. Now, on Cosplay.com, there was a group, there's a thread called Black Cosplayers Thread, something like that. It used to be the thread where, you'd find other black cosplays. It was just, I would say it's the Essence/Jet magazine of Cosplay.com. Because most people read Essence, and it's just for the things from a black perspective. That's fine.
Yeah.
Last time I went up in there was like several years ago. I felt like I picked up Feds magazine, or Project Nigga Illustrated, or some shit like that. Well, I guess you've heard the magazine Feds.
Nigga Illustrated.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I felt like I picked up Project Nigga Illustrated. And it was like,
that's
what?
a meme.
Because I could not go a comment where someone was like, why are these, this ain't, we should do the cosplay like this. Do it this way, do our personal spin, or black faces. I'm like, wait, what happened to all the good shit that you see? I was like, you know what? I'm out. And just so you know, that's probably one of the longest cosplay threads going on Cosplay.com, because if I'm not mistaken, that thing has been going maybe almost 10 years.
Wait, what thread?
There's a thread on Cosplay.com, the Black Cosplayers thread, or something like that. It's one continuous thread of comments. It's just... It just keeps going.
Can you link the site?
Yeah.
I will see if I can find it. God.
You got cosplay.com, right?
Yeah.
.com.
Like, there's like one legit group. Like, oh, God. African American something. There's some group on there with like art, and it's a bunch of artists on there. Or the like the Talk Nerdy to Me page on Facebook or whatever. I like that group. That's probably my favorite group on there.
What group?
Only because not just because it's called Talk Nerdy to Me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
Now, yeah, I don't like the group just because I'm an admin, and I probably should say good things about the group because I'm an admin. But like, people in there are like legitimate artists. When I say legitimate artists, I don't just mean like they draw or whatever. Like they mainly post. They mainly post art. They frequently talk about art. Oh, there's like another group that's African American. It's just something African American something. They just post a lot of art on there, and I'm watching and I'm looking at the pics and I'm like, this is really dope. Like they just drew this. This is really dope. My friend TJ, TJ is an artist or whatever, and he just makes up the art as he go, like whatever he wants to do. Like he's drawing us as like the Justice League basically. That was a really dope pic. I cosplayed Superman before. It's my profile pic.
Is this it? Oh no, continue. I was just asking.
Yeah, link it to. Drop the link in and I'll take a look.
It's like the Justice League, and people like that I really appreciate. Just because, and I know whoever's gonna listen to this is gonna be like, well, you just don't like the black groups because such and such. No, I don't like drama. I like watching drama unfold.
That's it.
It's funny to me.
Wait, hold.
I don't like, it's too much energy to keep up drama. Like, damn, this page is supposed to be about art. Ain't nobody talking about art no more, man.
Yes.
We upset about something.
You know what's killing me about the black anime groups?
Yes.
Those were
You know what kills me? You know what kills
Holy
me about
shit,
black anime, black video game groups?
Wow.
Half those fools don't even watch anime or play
They
video
really
games
don't.
or read comics.
Like some dude got in my face about he didn't really like come at me really, really hard. He just like made a comment trying to make me feel stupid, whatever. It was about something about Detective Conan, and it was wrong. It was completely wrong. Because at the end of his rant, he was like, "Who the fuck is Jimmy Kudo?" And I was like, "Wow, so you've never watched Case Closed? You literally jumped in like season 27. You garbage. Get the fuck out of my face."
Okay,
I was so upset because I don't keep with it, or I was judged for not keeping up with like Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra is garbage. I'm sorry.
Like I didn't see season 3 and 4.
Yeah, season 3.
We have the tapes. I didn't see it.
All right, now hold up.
That's like a famous black character, bro. How you don't know about Korra? What?
She ain't black, but okay.
All right, so yeah, this is the thread. As you can see, I've been gone for so long. I did not know it left. I did not know it was dead. As you can see, this thread is at least ran for 13 fucking years. And now that I see who started it, and given the shit that she started on the POC group, I'm not surprised. As you can see, everybody left this and moved over to the POC group. Ain't that some shit?
She looked like never mind, let me not do that.
No.
Jessie Chan.
No, that's the same girl. Look, if you ain't gonna go there, I will. From her profile pic, she looks like a bloated Aunt Jemima in red with a staff that she needs to be stirring the pancake batter with. All right.
Bruh, she ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
She like Aunt Jemima, fam.
And don't put that on Aunt Jemima, bro.
You mean no? He had it right. Ain't your mama,
bruh.
Nah, she like a Nick at Night character, fam.
No. She is Night. Look at her. All she had to do is close her eyes.
She look greasy, bro.
You know, it's the shot. Look, I ain't gonna say this. Look, my fellow black cosplayers, I know you want your pictures taken, but you gotta stop putting on makeup to make you look greasy as fuck. You gotta stop that shit, because there are some. I take pictures. I'm just trying to edit that shit in Lightroom, and as I'm editing, the color y'all go from black to green. I'm like, no, we can't. We can't. Mm-hmm. I understand. Sometimes you can help the shine, but you know what? You gotta do something to kind of absorb instead of reflect. And I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, speaking of, people not watching the anime, don't know what they're talking about. When I get on the Extraordinary Black Nerd group, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, bruh. So they had.
Yeah, that's one of the groups. That's one of the groups I was talking about.
Shitty, bro.
Okay, when I get on there real quick, they were talking about fighting games, right? So. People like me, Brennan, Black Prion, we in the LGC, we deep in the fighting games, whatnot. So someone's talking about Tekken. This fool said, I'm like going on this man. This man said, Tekken's a juggle fest. So here's the thing, right? So here's the thing, right? In Tekken always been, a juggle heavy game. It's that recently in Tekken 6 and Tag 2, it kind of went, full retard with the juggle mechanics.
Yeah.
To add bounds.
Yeah.
But generally in Tekken, you don't want to get punished. Mm-hmm. Generally, you don't want to go crazy. You want to, do your pokes, get a few hits in.
Yeah.
Wait, look for the counter hit and then punish and do your juggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, talking about. See, this is why I like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. You don't get juggle all day. I was like, Street Fighter is easy as shit. Mortal Kombat, I respect
even easier to
you like Mortal Kombat, but I respect you play Mortal Kombat. I understand you like the game, but NK9, NKX, at high level is kind of retarded. I'm gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. Like the game is just about fitness.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, John. But speaking of Tekken, why thrash Khalil today in Tekken? I want you to hit this man up and ask him, did I perfect him at round 1 today?
Did Khalil, did the usual, no, I was just about to change characters. Like, I'll beat him in Tekken. He bested 3'd me. But, throughout the rounds, I got a perfect on. I played with Steve. He's the only person I know how to play with. I perfect him. Everybody was looking at me. Ooh, wait a minute. I was like, ain't no bitch, boy. You up finna. I can't. I'm not. I tell you right now, I'm not great. I'm not great at fighting games. I'm pretty decent. I know how to box.
So I fight with Steve because he's a boxer, and I fight like a boxer. I don't do no combos. I get right in your face, I push you back, and I punch you. And I got perfect on him, and I was like, yes, it's lit. And I was just running around screaming, I'm lit.
Or people still find out my name, like for Tekken 7, right? The arcade cabs, you can use, specific game cards. Each company has their own game card. Like Dance Dance Revolution, all the BMA games have the Konami e-amusement pass where pretty much you scan your card on the arcade cab, it saves you dead or whatnot. Tekken has the same one. They have the Namco cards where you can save your data. But the thing about Tekken is that you can, make your own username. It keeps your records, customize your characters. So I put my ID name as OG Booty Warrior, right? As a troll.
Hey.
And play Lucky Chloe. So I'll go online. I see the rankings, for around Stormcrest. I'm ranked 5th. And everybody's like, who's this guy named OG Booty Warrior and he's ranked 5th? Everyone's like, who is this OG Booty Warrior? And they look at the character I play. They're like, oh, he's a troll.
Oh man, it's perfect. And then you talking about black and extraordinary group of black nerds. I didn't left. I didn't even banned. I done left. I done come back to the group so many times.
I left that group.
So in other words,
extraordinary black this group. This is the most basic
really
shit I've ever seen. I was
So Kay, what you're saying is when it comes to that group, you've made more comebacks than Michael Jordan.
I really have. I've been one time there was a whole new set of there was the old admins, and there was this bitch who thought she was Japanese. She had this long ass. It started with like Okinawa or something. That was her name. She thought she was Japanese, and she tried to beef with me because they were bringing back old throwback songs or something from like the 90s, and one of the songs that she liked, I said, is that music from played as a track from Michael Jackson's Human Nature or something? And she was like, oh yeah, but it's still a good song. And I said, oh, I'm sure it's a good song, I'm just saying I noticed. And she got pissed, so she started making a big deal over time about, oh, these young folk don't know about that old school music. I said, child, no. And she banned me, and then she was like, you think you're Japanese, you think you're hot shit, and I'm like, okay, I literally just pointed out the backtrack of the song. You took it way to the extreme. I got banned, and then another admin who was actually nice, he was like, did you get banned by such and such? And they're like, yeah. And then she tried, and then he brought me back, and then she tried to ban me again when I had my secondary account, because that was the start of the zucking. I was getting zucked by Zuckerberg, and I would have to use my second account. And my second account was a roleplay account at the time. So I was like, okay, they don't even know who I am, so I'm just gonna troll. And I was just trolling them because I was posting yaoi in the group, and nobody had a problem with it, but this one guy, he got so triggered. And it wasn't like yaoi, like sex scene yaoi, it was like actual like canon stuff, like Naruto and Sasuke. That was when Naruto and Sasuke had kissed and stuff like that, and I was trolling the group, and I was like, real romances start here and stuff like that, and people were laughing, and she was pissed, bro.
Bruh.
Man, there's a lot of thirsty women in that group too.
They really are. I spent
He said dusty.
I said thirsty.
See, look.
Oh yeah, they're dusty too.
Look, the couple of groups,
dusty and greasy.
They
doesn't smell like fish.
They thirsty because they dusty.
Monster, maybe your brother Grim posted that picture of the group when he dresses Aquaman.
Yo,
and it's all those thirsty comments.
Funniest thing ever, because there was a whole bunch of thirsty girls commenting, but like, he only responded to me. And I think it was the dude Leroy. I forgot his name. Leroy Fullbuster, I think, commented on there.
Yeah,
he would only respond to us dudes. He posted a thirst trap basically. And when I saw it, I was like, he is just, and all the girls just blew up. And I was like,
my tell you what some of the comments were like. He dressed Aquaman. He was like, one of those girls like, I want your little fish inside me. Oh, like. I look at some of these women, it's like, I look at the birthdays, it's like, you were 4 years old, less than after a 20-something-year-old man. Get out of here.
Was this in the Anime Weekend Atlanta group?
No, this was in the Extraordinary Black Nerd group.
Lero Fullbuster was, oh yeah, he is. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he is. Because Ed's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, I
Because
remember
it was
that post
him,
too.
me, and somebody else. Because they also did it to him as Shazam.
Hmm.
And I would only just be like, looking good, bro. That's my brother.
And then thirsty
I
hoes
was
like,
like,
I want that.
looking good, fam. He was like, you know it. That's
But then
it. He would just respond to us.
they get so mad. Like the girls would get so mad when like they post like a sexy cosplayer, a female cosplayer post, and the guys are, they're like, "Ooh, I stick my dick in that, I go all sorts of ways upside her, and it's like, but you was doing it on the man thread, so like I had a 3-hour debate. That wasn't even a debate. It was like half the day was gone. I wasted half a day on this thread about the Iron Fist. People were like, "Why isn't he Asian?" And I'm like, "But you wrong." So
And you read the comments, he's white.
I was like, "Y'all read the comics, right?" They were like, "No, I didn't." It was this whole thread. It was in there. It was like a good day and a half still going, and it was
We're
like,
talking about Iron Fist.
Today.
Like, we're talking about Iron Fist, right? So
right.
Here's the thing. I seen a little bit of Iron Fist. The only main gripe I had was like the fight scenes are awful. The fight choreography stuff.
That's what everybody was saying. Just saying like it was just heavily edited because the person who's playing Iron Fist has no martial arts training.
Yeah, which is one thing. That was one of the tribes I had. I was like, could you get him to get martial arts training, or at least have him practice?
Or also, can you get his actual outfit from the comics?
That too.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Iron Fist. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know about Iron Fist till Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Well, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I read about the character, like, get myself familiar with him before I start playing the game. Because his thing is, his gimmick in Marvel is that he can charge up his ki, for power speed, whatever. And his rival in the game is Chun-Li, but his reveal show was along with Cybershal. I was like, okay, that's cool. He has dialogue against Virgil, my favorite DMC character. I'm like, that's cool. So I was like, okay, he's a white martial artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I know it's all a little off topic, but Dante in the game was like, yeah, you cool. I don't care about the kung fu slipper still, but you're cool.
I was just like, yeah, and I'm just like, come on now. And this was like, it was me and like 5 other dudes. We were just going in, and we were like, are you serious? Like, we were throwing in screenshots, we were throwing in links. People were like, and there was this one girl, she was like, he should have been Asian American or half Asian and half American. I was like, y'all don't understand the context of when this was created.
It's like, Iron Fist is not, just one character. He's a legacy character.
Yeah, he's like one of those characters. He's like James Bond. He's different people. Like, he's not
or
one
Solid
guy.
Snake.
Yeah.
Or Snake and Metal Gear Solid.
His name is just a title, bro. His name is just a title.
Exactly. All you have to do is learn.
It ain't just this guy.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of which, that's our thing too.
They like Robin.
That's our thing too, like Shorty and Nerd Group. It's like, y'all don't know what the hell we talking about. They're talking about Metal Gear Solid, and Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite game series. So you get something wrong, I'll call you out on it. So they were talking about Metal Gear Solid. One dude was like, yeah, I love Solid Snake. I love it in Metal Gear Solid 3. I was like, no, Solid Snake is not in Metal Gear Solid 3. That's Big Balls.
What the?
The original Snake.
I can't.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is a prequel. It's a prequel to the entire Metal Gear saga.
Who is this young man?
Because anybody plays Metal Gear Solid. Anybody plays Metal Gear Solid, you know the story. It's Metal Gear Solid 3. Then Horrible Ops. Then Peace Walker. Then
that's my favorite game series.
Then MGS 5. Then it's Metal Gear 1, 2, MGS 1, MGS 2, MGS 4, and Metal Gear Rising is set so far in the future it doesn't even matter. Because originally it was supposed to be, a prequel to 4, but Kojima and his team didn't know how to make an action game mixed with stealth. So they're like, okay, Platinum Games can make the game. We just go read through the story, just have it set, after Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
But old dude was like, yeah, I was Solid Snake. I was in Ink Metal Gear Solid 3. I like him Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, no, he's not in those games. You guys know, it's like, you know the story. There's 3 different snakes.
He is Smash Bros.
Actually 4 snakes. You got Solid Snake, Big Balls, aka Naked Snake, Solid Snake, and Liquid Snake.
Oh man.
Bro, I love how I don't even go too far off topic. I love how Big Boss.
We already far off
You
topic.
play MGS5. You play MGS5. He's like Solid Snake, Punish Snake,
Yep.
Venom Snake, the Punish Venom Snake. And I was like, bro, chill out with these names, bro.
Oh yeah.
I'm just calling you Jack.
Before we go back on topic, like,
I think
because
we're-
Metal Gear Solid 5, I get triggered about that as well, because I can tell people didn't play the game. It's like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna cosplay Metal Gear Solid 5. I love that game. It's like, so, you know about the plot twist, right? Oh, no, I didn't play the game. I didn't finish it. You know the game is short, right? Oh,
Like,
no.
bro,
Because
how you didn't finish it, bro?
okay, I already know we're not that popular, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop the spoiler here right now. The big boss in Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, you know, the second part, MGS5, it's not the real big boss, it's a body double that has all his memories and made it look like Big Boss. So people are like, oh, Big Boss is my favorite Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, you know, that's not the real Big Boss, right? Like, oh.
That's Ahab, bro. That's Ahab. That's not the real Big Boss. His name is Ahab.
Yeah, because Kachino neighbor system Moby Dick. Well, let's get back on topic about the groups.
I think we're kind of at that point where we need to wrap up. I mean, I enjoy like the long chats and the long shows, but we're starting to go into like the hour 30 mark, so you know. And I mean, I can't sit there and edit out like 15-20 minutes of stuff because this is all good shit we got here. I mean, it would be a disservice for me to edit any of this out.
True.
Yeah, because, you know, you got these people saying, you know, oh, I'm such a huge nerd, I'm so into this, you know, making these groups and whatnot. It's just like, y'all don't know what you guys talking about half the time.
Alright, so if you like the show, drop us a line at blackcosplayerspodcast@outlook.com. Episodes go up every week on YouTube. Older episodes are coming up on SoundCloud, so eventually they'll be coming out the same spots, and I'll try to get us onto Google Play and iTunes, you know? I mean, and we're getting some positive feedback, you know, hey, just spread the word, so, you know, if you don't like what's going on in these other black cosplay groups or anime groups or whatever, if you kind of feel you need to be somewhere where you can, like, speak your mind and say how you feel without being ostracized, we got you, fam. So
We got you. Safe space
that's
for the
what's-
intellectual.
I wish I could say the same about certain Facebook group, but I can't.
Ha! Nope.
Alright, yeah. We done?
We done.
I
Yeah.
think we done.
Alright, we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all.
Bro.